Hi, Miss Morphew here. And today we have some tips and tricks that may help you reduce glossophobia and show your confidence. By the way, one of the tricks for gaining confidence is to have some sort of a cue card that you might refer to occasionally. As long as you are referring to it and then looking to the light, looking back to the camera, and talking to us, connecting with us, then we're going to believe that you've got that confidence. It might be index cards that you're holding. It might be some kind of a poster or a chart behind your camera or behind your computer, or it might be a slideshow that helps you graphically see where you're going and remember the kinds of things and the stories you want to say. Okay? I'm going to do a quick share screen. Remember, I am recording in Zoom, and then I have a PowerPoint here. And that's one technique that you might use if that helps you. You are not alone. We've already established that some folks, most folks, have some concern with public speaking and that we all feel a little nervous, or you can feel excitement, depends on how you're looking at it. When we have a physiological response that sounds like a little nervousness. You'll notice that there are some conscious gains that could be made. John Dewey said in the early 30s, when a lot of people were doing research on reflection, and it's continued, that we don't learn just from having an experience. Once we think and we feel and we recognize what those reflections are, we capture our thoughts and feelings, then we're going to apply that and we're going to learn. So you'll get better. David Dempsey from Better to Best says it's perfectly natural to be anxious. Usually, whatever you think is going to be the worst never happens. And it always seems like difficult to you, worse to the speaker than it does to anybody that's watching you. So keep wearing it like you mean it, because the audience cares about you. They empathize with you. They're going to be making those videos and you get to see them too. Everybody wants you to succeed. And if they've never heard your presentation before, they're there to see you and hear your message. One person that I utilized in my teaching of Speech Gen 10, now CALM 2025, was a TED Talk speaker, a social scientist, Amy Cuddy. And her video, Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are, has a longer version and some shorter versions, depend on which one you get. This QR code you may hover over and it'll take you right to this longer version. It's a 20-minute video, almost 21, but I have to tell you, if you can invest the time, that has her personal story and journey, and it just, makes you want to cry. It really went viral. And this is the first of 3 videos that I want you to watch for discussion board number 2. You're going to be watching my video on anxiety, glossophobia, this one on confidence, Amy Cuddy, and then 2 other ones. But let me give you a trick. If you don't have 5 extra minutes for the long version, you can go to her 15-minute version, which still captures the elements and the power of her body language actually changing your mind. And so please consider either one of those. There's actually shorter versions, but she's worthy to understand how your confidence can actually be created by the way that you sit or stand. With your body language, you can change the chemistry in your mind. Check it out. Next, if you really want to make a connection and you really want to raise confidence, tell stories. Alan Alda worked with a lot of scientists with Stony Brook University. Scientists and mathematicians generally have a challenging time because that's not their natural thing, right? They're more into the data and the numbers perhaps, but that's not their natural thing to tell their stories. So he worked with this university and they help the scientists learn to tell their story. Alan Alda wrote a book called Does It Look Like I Understood You from the Look on My Face? Something like that. But this video is a portion from that little book. So it's like 7 minutes. Knowing how to tell a good story is like having mind control. Another worthy and interesting thing to understand. Good storytelling raises your confidence. You build connections. The next tip is to use visuals. If it is a slideshow, or if you're showing us a demonstration and you physically have those materials in your hands, or you're outside and you've got your drill or whatever you're doing, visuals can help you raise your confidence. And they can help you, if it's a slideshow, keep on track. Hopefully, you're going to watch this brief video by Nancy Duarte's company. She's a great communication company. I follow her. Her materials are amazing, and you can follow her too if you choose. But watch this short video on 5 rules for great presentations. It's really interesting to watch, but it'll help raise your confidence because it won't be like everybody else who just puts tons of words, turns their face, doesn't make the connection, and just reads their slides. She's got some great tips, and it's very creatively created. All right, so here's your 3 tips from the sources you need to watch. Use exercises like the proper stances to raise your comfort level. Add stories and your personal examples in your speeches, because that's going to let us get to know you and make much more human and real the things that you're trying to tell us. And then let your visuals help you and your audience so we can all get the message. Communication doesn't happen unless understanding happens. So grab our hearts and our minds. Here are those 3 resources, not in QR codes if you need to go and look it up. And I'm going to give you a couple more tips. Throughout my on-ground class, that's like a full term, my students come to realize that if they can choose topics that they really care about, that's a sweet spot. And their vocal expression, their body language, and their words come across so much more authentically. It makes them much more interested to go and look and find information. So raise your confidence with that. And let's finally look at the Speaker Guidebook 4th edition on 8 tips that might raise your confidence. If you get the chance, speak. Be fierce and unafraid. Talk to people. If you're preparing for a speech video, prepare early. We all know that if you start searching something on Google or Amazon, it'll be like in your feed right away, right? The next day or that afternoon. So prepare early and thoroughly, and that's going to help you raise confidence. Use a lot of positive self-thought, guys. If you need any encouragement, I'm happy to offer it. Loosen up, relax. This guidebook also suggests eat sensibly so you don't have those sugar rushes and crashes, and mentally prepare for the unexpected. You've seen I haven't edited this thing out. I've made little mistakes along the way, but you can do this, and that is acceptable for us, okay? And remember, very few speakers are flawless. The best ones know how to play off of the unexpected. When big noise occurred after President Ronald Reagan was shot, he came back and was just doing his speech, and he came back and he went, "Miss me," and everybody roared. A recent president did the same kind of thing. You may be more familiar with that one. There are very few flawless speakers. So here's the tips. Here's some resources. And I look forward to all of you who want to earn that bonus point by going into our discussion board number 2. After watching all of these videos, I want you to reflect on that, summarize that, make whatever little connections you have with it, and then reply to 2 friends. that's worth 18 bonus points. And being in the know and gaining all the points you want can keep you confident too.